So, it was weird on my camera just now. It had one yellow bar, right? One yellow bar. Remember when I took a double take and I looked at it, and I decided, because with one bar, then it starts to blink, and then it'll just turn off. My cameras get so temperamental. They do. Seriously. They'll just turn off. My hand's going to shake. They'll just turn off. Like, sometimes. Did you notice on my Haley Williams movie, back on one of my movies, it stayed on for the full 20 minutes? Yeah. They're perverted. I mean, it's actually got a person that governs my camera. It's like, as long as it's Haley, tell her I called. You like it when you always just send us your little gratification comments. Seriously. And then just a couple of videos before that, you'll just see it turn off. And then the funny thing is about these cameras, it turns off, restarts itself, and then turns on for the remainder of the video. It doesn't just turn off, it'll just be like, it does turn off sometimes, because I was doing my Jurassic Park movies, and it turned off. And then then I replaced the batteries thinking it was that, and then it turned off again at the exact same time. Like, stopped at the exact same time. I was pissed off though. I was really, really mad, and I had to do them in tight format. But besides that, I mean, you just turn off and then restart, and then sometimes I'll have a video done, and then it'll just start restarting and shit. And that's why sometimes it's just a little amount. I don't know how they do it. I don't know why they do it either. But, you know, they really, really like Haley. Yeah. It's really gross. Anyways, so it had one bar, right? A second ago. And then it's gonna flash and then turn on. I'm not gonna be telling my Las Vegas story and have that happen. So when I was looking at it and I turned it back around, and right after I said I gotta replace the battery. Well, when I turned it around, by that time it had gone back up to 2 bars. They just had like a little computer. They said, "What? Us? We weren't gonna turn it off during your story. That would be rude, Curtis. We would never." They turned it up to 2 bars. So, I don't know, and the worst part about the whole story is I'm like the most likable guy that you can know. Like, the fucked up part is like, they're getting like a front row ticket. You know when you like have a movie star friend? You know when you like have like some kind of person you know really well? Like, how sort of obscene are you that somebody you know better than your neighbor in your next cubicle over, that you actually decide, from knowing everything about them, that you still then say, fuck this guy. Almost like you would have to assume that they're like trolls. I mean, how heavy do you have to be where it like, kind of like goes up halfway, like the semi-hard vagina, and then just sort of like fizzles out and just sort of boils? You never like it. Where every time like it starts to get good, man, fuck this guy. I mean, no compassion at all. Like, it doesn't even matter about sentimentality. Like, I'm having a rough day. Please help me help myself. You listen to everything, and then you still just like do the fuck over pass. Anyways, what I was saying was, so now I got this cardboard, I got some poster boards. I had put, before I walked over to the dumpster area, I put most of the poster boards in a corner so that they wouldn't blow away, and I started walking around just to get cardboard. Well, I found the cardboard sitting there, and I even had scissors on me, because I usually need scissors to cut regular cardboard. So I take this big slab of cardboard, and it's literally basically like 8 feet long, and about 3 feet wide. I don't know what the fuck it's doing sitting there. Well, I walk around this building area where I try to get to where the wind's not blowing as much, And well, I start like digging in with my scissors, and it's like, it's really thick, right? And I get like one piece done. Thing is, I look down, and there's this bright orange little chicklet, like this tiny little baby chicklet bird without any feathers. What's that? And the thing is like 2 days before that, I was at like this really, really exotic, bright orange hotel off of the strip. Keep going backwards with my storytelling. Yeah, well, when I was going to find a Mormon bishop, I just saw on the map where it was, but I missed my turnoff. So I kept walking down this road that goes straight, and I kept looking for a specific road that I never saw. Well, if I kept on going straight, I just walked into this bright orange hotel, like the biggest thing you'll ever see. Brand new, all like, alive and awake. And I went inside. Well, thing is, though, I needed to find out where the church was, so I asked the woman, do you have any computers here? And she goes, no. Try one of the smaller hotels. And then she told me to go back this way, and then turn down this one road, and that's where they all are. Thing is, I'm getting tired. Well, I walked like, just a quarter of a mile away, and I got tired. I saw these U-Haul trucks, and for some reason in U-Haul parking areas, they leave the back door unlocked. And I've done this in different states, but I basically climb inside and lay down. Well, I fell asleep for like 30 minutes or something, and it got cold. Well, I just decided to go back to the hotel. I don't remember why. But when I went back there, I saw something I didn't see the first time that I was there. I saw that they had a movie theater in it. And you just had this red rope. None of the movies were on because it was the middle of the night. But it was your typical AMC, like Harkins, whatever. I don't remember which one. And I'm like, and it just had this like red rope, like those kind that have the metal stabilizing mobile things that you can move around. Well, I just went and unattached it and then reattached it and walked through. And now I'm down one of those like hallways with movies on both sides. And the doors were all open. I could go in. The seats were all right there. The thing is in Mesa, Arizona, I did this one time back in my city where I was started out, and they had the same exact setup. And I go underneath that curtain right there. You can call and lay down. I'm exhausted, and this room is air conditioned. So I go in there and I crawl underneath, and the thing is, they have this thick insulation padding. And I did this in Mesa too. But what happened was tore it, and then you lay on top of it, so you have something to lay on. Well, you want to know something really weird? The one time I did this in Mesa, at like my favorite movie theater on Stapley in the US 60. Well, so I always go there and watch movies, right? For some particular reason I don't know now, but I didn't want to leave. I would always sneak in the side door. I didn't want to leave. Well, what happened was, this one I wonder what's under there. So I crawled in and I laid down, and I even tore off one of the things. And I'm laying on it, and it's like, I'm asleep, and I hear, alarm sound. I hear footsteps. And I'm looking at these boots, staring right at me from underneath the curtain. Nobody saw me go on the table. He opens up the thing and goes, "You get out, please?" "Yeah, sorry." The thing is, they knew that I knew that nobody saw me go under here, and it had been a couple of hours. But the only thing that they said was, please don't do that again. Have a good night. With the alarm still going. One of the really rare times that I can't explain how somebody knew where I was. It was like 2:30 in the morning, like when I was like walking around. Well, this had that. I remember what's under there. It's a nice place to sleep. And I'm sleeping there, and well, I sleep the entire night through, and the movie starts in the morning, right? I'm sitting there, and I can just hear all this jibber jabber, all this music, and I sleep through the entire first production, and it's quiet, and the movie starts over again. I'm just like, his eyes zonk out, and then I finally like wake up slowly, and I'm listening to what movie it is. I'm just like, is this movie? And I, you can go up the side, and I kind of like get out. I'm like, I don't know if there's people out there, but just like act like nothing's wrong. And you just walk past like there were like 5 people in the audience, and I turn around to look at what movie it was. Cinderella. Well, but the thing was after it all was finished, when I was cutting this cardboard, this little tiny baby chick, this little itty bitty baby chick, was the exact same color as this entire massive casino. The exact same color. What are you doing? But I actually, I've been doing it for a long time. What you do is you do this, flex your 5 fingers, and you can contract their spirit, and you can be a passive person. Whenever I see anything dead, you don't have to sit and feel sad about it. You just do that, and you feel an electrical charge go up your arm, and then it goes in your shoulder, and then you encapsulate it, or send it, or be a vessel for it. You can stay, it can go, but you can. Certain people have that ability, so I never ever feel that. And you just keep on doing what you're doing, and then. But I just thought it was weird. I was like, really? Because I was just having to tell it was your color. And I'm still cutting, and I'm still cutting. The thing was, the wind was picking up. It was like blowing me from behind. And at one point it hit the entire cardboard while I was cutting it, and I had a grip on it with these 3 fingers right here, and it was waving in the wind like this, like in full gallop. I was like, good God. And I put it back down, and when I put it back down, it wrapped around me. Like when I grabbed it like this, the back end caught, and it caught and pulled against my back, and this cardboard stabilized itself against my back, and I wasn't even holding it, and I wasn't even moving, and the entire cardboard itself was winging. I wasn't even touching it. It was like 1 second it was like this, calm the fuck down, and then I put it down, and then it caught, and then it's sitting on my back without even touching it. Whenever I have something like this happen, I like do it, and I look at the cameras that Las Vegas has, and I'm like, you like that, don't you? But you might. They're all like this. I got to do whatever I wanted to do in that city after that happened. Any fears about maybe getting in trouble? Anything that I was thinking just evaporated. Finished all my cardboard cutting. Had like 5 signs or whatever, and then I got some more, and then I got all of my things done. I'm on the bus. Well, the problem is I still have a ladder. And so I'm getting near the Las Vegas Strip, right? And I get 1 street away from it because there's some business buildings. Well, when I get out, I put my poster boards to the side, put my cardboard to the side, and I go into this building that has a lot of cars in the parking area. And when I go inside, in the lobby, right in front of me, is a ladder like this, and there's a guy actually on it, fixing the light above the at the top of the room. And he's got a big white blanket underneath him. And I think maybe it had paint on it, maybe it didn't, I don't really remember. But I go, and I keep walking, and then I go around this wall, and I just sit down. So if I hear that, I'm not in bladder anymore, I was going to take it. And I waited and I waited and I waited and everybody got quiet. Before it got quiet, two guys started making sounds. I'm like, great, there's more than one. And then it got really quiet. And go, boom, boom, boom. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, literally just starting to tuck the ladder in. And then just some guy like starts to walk by and I go, I just like readjusted. And then I just look over and I'm like, he's off. And then I go out the back door. He walks out the back door and he's just looking at me. And then I walk and I do like this wide arc. And I go back to where my signs are. Thing is, then I walked across the street. Because I still need a ladder. And when I walked across the street, upon approach, there's this white van. And it's got two ladders on the top. And when I get closer to it, there's just the building with a prop door that's open. And I get closer to it. And the one on the left, he left it unlocked. The right one was locked down, the left one wasn't. I go, he wants me to put signs down. This is a gift, and these people like me. Took my free gift. I knew it was a free gift so much that I actually when I got back to my signs, I went right to the very intersection that I was at, where I could still see the van. And I just go, He could come out that door any second. And I just go up the ladder and just like, because my signs were all done. Because there's traffic everywhere when you get near the strip. I'm like, this is just as good as the strip. Hello Las Vegas people, hello tourists. And then I'm like, and I go and I do another intersection just so the van could see me. And I do another one right there. Now I'm just, next thing you know, like putting up signs all over Las Vegas Strip. I go, I didn't want to do the actual strip itself because I didn't want to run the risk of somebody that worked at the casino saying, you better get off the strip. Don't ever do that again. I go, you know what? I'm going to do one street over, and I did the entire street that travels the second road over straight to the airport. They got to come from the airport and go to their hotel, right? And then they got to leave their hotel and go to the airport. I'll do that road, but I'll do all of them on a really, really high ladder. Let's say that for weeks. And that's exactly what I did. My last sign was at the airport. The intersection was basically leading into the airport. Facebook, Curtis Quentin. Anyways, so then when it was all done, I needed to get out of there.